Hello? Are we live? Please say we are. Okay. Apologies, everybody, for the slightly late running. The internet hates me and hates me being live is where we've got to. Yes, we are now live. Thank you for bearing with me. Oh my goodness, I was so stressed. I've got a lovely setup. I've got a cup of tea. I've got some lovely questions to answer. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, everybody. Keep tuning in. Keep tuning in. Thank you so much for bearing with. Honestly, I just think the internet hates everybody because it's 4:00 on a Saturday afternoon. And what else? I haven't had much luck with lives this week. I haven't. You are so right. And the problem is, so I'm at my parents' and they live in the countryside and we can't get like the ultra speed, high speed fibre optic internet. So like we've got good internet, but I suppose it's that thing that's everybody being, that, you know, the demand for everybody being online at the same time is, don't worry, I'm so late. I've been sat here since 3:45, ready and raring. But nobody fear, we are here. So I've got some questions already to answer. So I'm going to do these, but feel free to just type away, ask me anything. We'll get going. So anything you want to know about the industry, about how I started out, jobs I did get, jobs I didn't get, which are most. I will save this live, don't you realise? So, first things first, what has been your most career-defining moment so far? I would probably say Heathers the Musical was a huge game changer and a massive moment in my life for many, many reasons. Personally, it was the most challenging, fulfilling, crazy, intense time I have ever had on any job, but it was the most rewarding. I made my bestest friends, and this evening, guys, we are doing a Heathers live. No. Heathers quiz. I am live. Heathers quiz, my friends, and we're very excited. So that's good. And a little inside tip for you. So when we did the very first workshop at the other palace, we were bought like little bits of costume. So I had a yellow blazer, and the yellow blazer is at my parents' house. So I will be wearing that to my Heathers quiz tonight. So yeah, I would say Heathers was probably a really, really big game changer, but also Made in Dagenham was my very first West End job. And another original show, I created the role of Sandra Beaumont in a brand new British musical, which was literally like so many dreams come true, so many bucket lists ticked. Original cast, West End job, playing a lead role, creating a role, brand new British musical, recorded a cast album, doing Tonight at the London Palladium with the cast, and then obviously not to mention crazy, ridiculous things like being with, you know, Gemma Arterton, a huge, incredible movie star, Sophie Stanton, Heather Craney, Nana, like all of these girls that are just incredible actresses that I just adore. And it was amazing. And just to create something new is the best feeling in the world. So those are the two, I would say. What role would I love to perform if I had the chance? So when I was touring with Legally Blonde, I played Margot, which was fantastic because I just got to have a lovely time, sing some really amazing music, again by Lawrence O'Keefe, who is also one of the Heathers writers, but also doggies. All the doggies. But I covered the role of Elle, and I would absolutely love to, you know, Jerry Mitchell, beautiful man. Could you bring Legally Blonde back to the West End, and please may I play Elle Woods? To play that in a long run would be just huge dream come true. So yeah, I'd love that. There will be many more along the way, but I'd love to revisit that role and do it properly for a really nice extended amount of time. Any words or advice that have stuck with me throughout my career? Many. Mr. Andy Fickman, the incredible director of Heather's the Musical, he once said to me, when you feel like you've done all the work you can, when you feel like you've put in every hour that you can, put in that little bit more, and that's where you find the little bit of magic. And I totally agree with him there. And I feel like I push myself more now at my stage in my career I am now than I ever have done before. And the rewards that you gain from that are like tenfold. Absolutely huge. Also, another really good one. So with musicals, you often, through the audition process, you often end up doing quite a few rounds. You do like your singing round, your recall round, your second recall round, maybe a third recall, maybe a little movement or dance call, maybe a little pairing up of you and maybe the man that you're going to play opposite. And what I would say is literally just focus on the moment and the audition in the moment, yeah? Don't think, well, I'll do this in this audition because then if there's a third audition, then I'll save that for that. Just focus on that moment. And because one, it gives your mind a second to just focus rather than thinking of the whole picture. Think of the actual moment in hand that you've got right there in front of you, because you can sometimes mess up the rest of the process if you start thinking about the next step rather than the one you're on. And also for a final audition, don't do anything different. Just do what you've done before. There's a reason why you are in that final audition. So just go in there, be prepared. Don't get too nervous. Don't overthink it, and just do what you've always done before. Because at that point, when it's a final, it's generally out of your hands. It's up to look, heights, sizes, ages, hair colour, so many things outside of your control. So that is my advice for those. I'm just going to read this. Savannah, if you could give your younger self any advice, what would you say? I would probably say, and I learnt this on Heather's, so that's quite far into my career, but I would say celebrate your own individuality and what makes you you. For instance, I am a teeny tiny person. Tiny. I forget how small I am until I see pictures of myself and go, oh yeah, she's really small. But celebrate that. I can't change my height. I am me, and that is it. And as cheesy as that sounds, I cannot change who I am or what I am. So the more comfortable and secure and confident that you are in yourself, that is your biggest unique selling point. Okay, don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare your path to other people. Don't compare yourself, your voice, your acting, your clothes, your look, anything. Just really try and remain focused on you and who you are and what you are. There you go. The audition process for Heather's was a different one because our creative team all live in LA. So Andy Fickman, Lawrence O'Keefe actually lives in New York, and Kevin Murphy all live in Los Angeles. The two of them live in Los Angeles, and Larry lives in New York. So we had to self-tape. Now, I'd never had to self-tape for anything before because I'd always done musical theatre auditions or any TV auditions I'd done were in the room with the casting directors. So I was working in this really beautiful boutique gym in Covent Garden at the time, and I was on a very long shift. I started work that day at 5 a.m. and I had a really long 2-hour gap in the middle of 2 shifts. So I went downstairs into the yoga studio where there was a nice plain white wall, and I had a boyfriend at the time, a very lovely guy, and he is the king of self-tapes, thank God. So he came over with all his kit, and we set up the shot in the yoga studio, and I filmed Lifeboat. I did 2 bits of sides, and I think I had to sing a little bit of Candy Store at the beginning as well, just a tiny bit. And then we had to put that together. That was the Friday. And then it was a really quick turnaround. On the Saturday morning, I was teaching at Stagecoach in Wimbledon, and my agent, bless her, rang. She's a really big fan of Heather's, and she was like, "You've got it, you've got the workshop." This is for the workshop, by the way. So in 2017, we did a big workshop, which is the first incarnation of Heather's in the UK. And she told me I got it, and I was like, "Oh my God, amazing." And then we did the 2-week workshop, but then when we came into the West End, I didn't have to audition again, which was really lucky, because sometimes with workshops you do have to do a big audition again. So I didn't have to audition, but it was a self-tape in the first instance, and that's because our creatives are not in the UK. So I trained at the London School of Music. I'm looking at my iPad here with all my questions on. That's what I'm there for, not crazy. So I trained at the London School of Musical Theatre just for a year. And I was 19 when I went there, 20 when I graduated. And then I played Toffee in a little known show called Zombie Prom, which is basically Grease with a zombie. Effectively, really fun show. It was at the Landor, which was in London. We have these really cool theatres above pubs, and the Landor was a really well-known one. Really amazing place there. I've seen fantastic shows there. It's not there anymore, which is really gutting. But yeah, I played Toffee, that was the lead role in that, and she's basically Sandy, but she falls in love with a zombie. And then I went straight into a pantomime in Eastbourne after that. My first professional pantomime in Eastbourne, and I loved it. Had the best time. It snowed so badly. My parents came down with their friends, and they stayed at this gorgeous little boutique hotel on the beach, and we got snowed in, and the waves were like crashing over. It was amazing. I had a great time. Let's do my favourite costumes or shoes to wear in your career. So speaking of pantos, I love a pantomime. Honestly, I just think they are the best things in the world. They're just full of glitz and glam and songs and laughter and fun. Audience participation, kids, the lot. I love it so much. And I've been very lucky to be involved in quite a few very lovely pantos. One of which is a Goldilocks at the London Palladium, which was crazy. But the year before that, I played Cinderella at Woking for the same production company, which is the amazing Kudos Productions. And I was in Woking with Mr. Craig Revel-Horwood, who is an absolute dream, guys. He's so wonderful. I adore him. So I had these they were pointed high, like a good 3.5, 4-inch heel, but like a dance, like a ballroom shoe, hand crystalled with Swarovski crystals all over them. Oh my goodness me, they were stunning. So I think they're probably my favourite shoes to date, because they were just gorgeous. And they were like proper princess shoes. If you imagined what shoe Cinderella was wearing, if it hadn't have been glass, it was Swarovski crystal heels. Love them. Oh, I love this question. So, is your approach different when creating an original role from creating a role for a revival? So, amazing question. I love it. So, I would say, yes, your approach is different. So, the boundaries of what we know about the characters, their journey, their story, their interaction with the other members in the cast, the other roles, that is the biggest difference. And if you go into a revival, those connections have already been established and been tried and tested through a rehearsal process. With an original role, with an original cast, like Sandra Beaumont in Made in Dagenham, or Heather McNamara in Heathers to an extent, because it was the first, when we did it for the Other Palace and the Haymarket, that was our first, UK original cast, although it had been in an incarnation in America for a long time. Our setup here was very different. We had new songs, we had new dialogue. So I'd say the parameters of what you can and can't do are much freer. Whereas with a revival, just technically, the rehearsal time is shorter. So you kind of need to be on it, knowing what you're doing. And there is a blueprint as well for this is where this person goes. Because it's all a bit like a moving jigsaw puzzle, a show. By the time, like a Les Mis, you know that Enjolras is going to make his entrance from there. At some point he'll move downstage and then exit there. Because it's been tried and tested and rehearsed so much. You wouldn't go in as the new Enjolras and be like, oh, well, throw the rulebook out of the window, I'm going to do what I want. Because there's a whole cast of people that would affect. Whereas with a new show, it's everyone's first time. It's everyone's first experience of these characters and of these roles and what they're doing. So yeah, the approach is different. It's just way more free and creative, and you can just think, I think Sandra would do this like this now, thank you. So yeah, that is, I could talk about that all day long. I've been very lucky actually, and I've done more original casts than not, which is really, really lucky. What's this one? How does your experience with Kay Howard fit into originating a new role or reviving a role? Thank you, Shah Senior. Thank you very much. So this one is actually like a really nice balance of the two. 6 is amazing because the creative team really want you and really encourage you to be you, bring your essence to Catherine Howard or Catherine Parr or Anne Boleyn or Jane Seymour, and really, really, so like your accent, the way you stand, me being tiny brings a completely different energy to other people that might have done it. There's a really nice dynamic between me and Danielle Steers because she's obviously a lot taller than me, so that gives you really nice scope for different stuff. However, with that, there is obviously, and also when I went into 6, I was the only girl that joined in January. Everyone else had been there, so they have their chemistry and their rapport and their rhythm of how the show goes. And particularly in 6, because you're on stage for 75 minutes from start to finish, there is a real cadence and rhythm. To imagine it's like it's one 75-minute dance routine. That's how I can that's the best way for me to get it, sort of explain the experience of being in it. So then you have to really bear in mind how you fit in with the other people rather than just thinking, well, I want to do it like this because that's my choice. So yeah, it's the same but different, I think, is the shortest answer to that. Let's do... what are your future goals in theatre and outside of the industry? So I am currently, and have been for a while, but with acting jobs, this has been kind of put on the back burner a bit, but I'm going to be a personal trainer. Fitness literally is my saving grace. It gets me through when I'm low, when I'm high, when I'm anxious, when I'm nervous, when I'm busy, when I'm angry, and I love to run. I love to run. It's a bit like yoga or meditation for other people. I'm a bit rubbish at both of those things, but I love my running. And last Sunday I ran my first half marathon, just because. So that was fun. But I did the Rocky Horror Show internationally, and I played the role of Janet, and I was going away for a really long time internationally, and which is fine. I've toured before, but just being away for that long felt like a really big, oh my goodness. So that was a lot. And that's when I started running, and it just really cleared my head. That's the best way I can describe it. And yes, I'm a really competitive person, always have been. I'm really sporty. I played loads of sport at school. So I love it for that. I love to push my body. I love to test my speeds. But even if I just pop a podcast on, I can't even talk. What's happened? Anybody else had that? Quarantine, can't talk. Anyway, so just pop a podcast on, that's a little tongue twister, and run, just to get rid of some of that nervous energy or that anxious energy that you can't quite process by sitting or watching the telly or whatever. Really, really helps. So yes, personal training, and my biggest thing with that, I'm obsessed with the Studio One Rebel in London. I just think it's the best thing in the world. It's a bit like Barry's boot camp, but I love it there, and I want to be a trainer there. So that's the biggest goal for me at the moment. There are other goals way in the future, but right now that's what I'm focusing on. Did I get any coaching from the other queens in Six before I started? No, I didn't. We didn't do that, mostly because it was Christmas. Their Christmas schedule was crazy. They are honestly like machines. They're incredible, all of them. And I was doing panto at the Palladium, so they were super busy. I could only rehearse 10 till 1 o'clock, 1 p.m, and then I had 2 shows every day. So I had the lovely Franny and Mel who put me into the show, just the 3 of us. It was the weirdest thing ever. And we got it on its feet in about 6 weeks, and it was a bit scary and a bit hard, but it was amazing, and it was so worth it. And do you know what? Firstly, I think mindset is everything. So I could have been like, oh my God, I can't do this. This is too much. But I just woke up and thought, this is amazing. I firstly get to wake up every day and do what I love, which is priceless. And the biggest dream come true, tick. Secondly, not only am I in one amazing show, but I'm rehearsing for another amazing show at the same time. So Sophie, pull your positive pants up and crack on. That was my little pep talk with myself, and it helped. Somebody's just said, what was the audition process like for Six? So it was a very cold Tuesday afternoon, and I was in M&S buying mince pies because it was Christmas, rehearsing for Goldilocks at the Palladium, and I remember it so vividly. And friends of mine had been I'd been talking to Lauren and Jodie Steele, who are on the tour of Six, and I was thinking about them, and I'd spoken to them. I was like, oh, I've never been in for Six, I'd love to be in for that show. I literally thought that the day before. The Tuesday comes, and I'm in M&S with my mince pies, and my agent said, how do you feel about Six the musical? I was like, I feel great about Six the musical. It's incredible. And she said, well, that's good, because you're going in for it on Thursday. So they sent over the first section of All You Want to Do and the last section of All You Want to Do, and then the monologue that goes into the song. And I went in and I did that first, and then I got changed, and then we did, I think there was about 10 or 12 of us, and it was just Catherine Howard's, and we got changed and we did a dance call, so we learned a little bit of Get Down, love that song, God, it's good. I mean, all of them are. And then All You Want to Do, we did a little bit of that choreography. Although we don't, as Catherine Howard, do any of the choreography that the girls do, which I'm actually always really grateful for because it's hard and it's 7 minutes long. So yeah, we did that on a Thursday, and then the week after I had to go into a little it was a singing call. I think that was a Tuesday afternoon, and it was just to go through the music with the musical director, the lovely, incredible Katie, and we just really, really specifically went through different bits of All You Want to Do to get the right quality, and it was actually about pulling back more and singing it less. I'm just gonna have some tea. Singing less actually than needing to, you know, really, really whack it out. It's 7 minutes long. And then after that, it was a bit of an agonising wait, because I was in Panto and they knew this and they needed somebody to start at the end of January, and I finished pantomime on the 12th of January, and they wanted me to basically start on as soon as possible. So the proposed date was the 20th or the 21st of January. So a week after I finished the Palladium, and I was thinking, oh my God. So we basically all had to put our heads together and say, is this a silly idea? Can we actually make this happen? And then go from there, which is what we did. And they offered, it was our first morning of tech at the Palladium, and it was I just couldn't believe my luck. I could not believe how incredibly lucky I was to be playing Goldilocks and then have just been offered the role of Catherine Howard in one of the best shows in the entire world, not just the West End, the world, guys. So if you haven't seen Six, as soon as we're open, come down to the Arts Theatre and come and see us, because it's amazing. Now I'm just going to check, there's some little questions down here. Oh, that's a good one. Vicky Jane. Why is the West End version of Lifeboat in a higher key than the Broadway one? Now, this is a really good question because, and this is specifically a really good one because we've had lots of questions about original casts and stuff. And basically, we were in a rehearsal and Lawrence O'Keefe was there and we were singing Lifeboat. And I just said, Larry, can we just try it up a little bit? So we put it up a semitone and it was loads better. And a lot of the reasons, so it was basically my choice, is what I'm saying. I was a very lucky girl. But one of the biggest reasons for that is Heather Mack sings the top harmony on everything. So at the end of Shine a Light, she's going, shine a light, yeah! Really high, straight into Lifeboat. It's a really, really big jump. And I've got a higher voice, I've got a nice high bell anyway, so that is why Lifeboat is in a higher key. Lovely question, and very good ears for hearing that. What else have we got here? I've answered where I trained. Favourite moment in Heathers? Oh my goodness, there's so many. So many. So when we did the first workshop for Heathers in 2017, we were in the studio at the Other Palace, and Andy Fickman, our director, kept on saying, guys, you've no idea how nuts the fans are for this. They are the best things ever. Nobody, even Mr. Fickman, could have prepared us for the reaction on stage from you corn nuts. You're incredible. So myself, Gabby and Amy Ross, who were the 3 original workshop Heathers, walk out for Heather and Heather. We walk out, screams. We were like, what's happening? And it was happening. those audience members in that little studio went cray. So that was a huge moment, because that was when we first felt how special the show was. Then Andrew Lloyd Webber sitting in our rehearsal room on a Friday morning at 11 o'clock watching our run through of Heathers has to be an incredible highlight. The other one on Heathers was selling out our run at the other palace before we'd even opened, before we'd even finished rehearsing, and hearing that we got our West End transfer was... I've got goosebumps thinking about it. It was just incredible. And just for everyone, for Paul Taylor-Mills, the producers, Bill Kenwright, for Andy, Larry and Kevin, for Gary Lloyd, for all of us cast members, everybody that had worked so hard and been a part of that journey, for us to get that West End transfer is just like absolute goals and dream come true. So there's quite a few best moments in Heathers. I think as well, just from a funny point of view, there was, so the Haymarket stage is very heavily raked, and we had our bleachers that we moved, they were on casters, and there were big brakes on them. But one day the brakes, they didn't like it. They failed. And myself, Jodie and Tashan, the three Heathers, were stood on the top of the bleachers, and we started careering down stage during the slow-mo for Fight For Me. And it was scary and hilarious at the same time, and we didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and we did both. So yeah, lots of very, very funny moments there. Let's go next. Okay, this is a big one. So how do you find motivation when feeling like it's lost? When you haven't had the motivation to do runs or workouts for the past couple of weeks. So a big one for me is that sorry, I'm getting rid of that box. My biggest thing is, if I don't get up first thing in the morning, it ain't gonna happen. It has to be the first thing I do to get up. And it's hard. Do not think I just like bounce out of bed, morning, in my gym gear, and off we go. Like, sometimes it's a real struggle. Sometimes it's not. But lots of the time, it's a struggle to get going, to get out there. But I promise you, this is my biggest bit of advice. The thought of doing it is always worse than doing it. I promise. Okay? Hand on heart. I got real then, guys. The feeling you have after that workout will always be worth it. It will always outweigh the dread of doing the workout. Also, start small and build it up. Don't go from 0 to hero. Hercules' favourite. Start small. So if you haven't worked out for ages, don't think you're going to be going out there to run a marathon, because it ain't going to happen. And you might do it once, but it'll be so hard and so painful that you'll be like, this is dreadful. I'm not doing it again. So start small. So if it's running, start off with 10 minutes. Start off with 15 minutes. Start off with 5 minutes. Do a 5-minute walk, 5-minute run, 5-minute walk, 5-minute run. And just keep chipping away at it. And it will just slowly but surely over time, there will be days where you wake up and go, I don't feel as bad now. Okay, this is better, this is easier. Also, with the weather it's getting better and better now, with the weather getting better and better, that really helps. Waking up, sunshine, get it done. I hope that's helped with some motivation. Other ones. My favourite line in Heathers. I've seen you looking at Kurt. That's my favourite line. Don't know why, but every time. And what was funny is our band used to do it as well when I used to say that in that scene. I've seen you looking at Kurt. When she's teasing Veronica about fancying Kurt. Cheeky. I loved it. Any other little questions? What have we got? Oh, I'm just reading different little questions. Oh gosh, that's so hard. If I could do any musical again, what would I do? Do you know what? Most of them. For different reasons. So Heather's Six, number one. Get me back to that arts theatre ASAP, okay? Obviously when it's safe to do so, but I'm just really missing it. 2, Heather's, every day of the week. I mean, what a score. So much fun. Amazing choreography. Incredible script. Amazing people. Legally Blonde and Hairspray, because they're both just absolutely amazing pieces of musical theatre that I think are really actually underrated, and I think they have the best mix of the script, the songs and the choreography as a triple threat of that genre and that form of theatre. Beautiful. And also when I did Hairspray, we did it in Singapore and Kuala Lumpur. I mean, holiday and a musical. What could be better? I played Amber in Hairspray. It was the best. I would do Kinky Boots again because literally the cast and the crew and the creatives on that job are my favourite. Just amazing, wonderful people. My friend Chloe Hart, who was Tracy in the West End in Hairspray, she's getting married next year. She's had to postpone it. But myself and 2 of our other girls from Kinky Boots are her bridesmaids. Just so many wonderful friends and memories and friendships made along the way on that job. Again, another Jerry Mitchell show. The man has little fingertips of musical theatre gold dust. So yeah. Lots of them I would do again because I've been very lucky. Let's see what other questions you've got. Yeah, Broadway. Shows that I would really want to see on Broadway. Jagged Little Pill, Mean Girls, Beetlejuice. I also really want to see Something Rotten. So yeah. Those are my top ones. I just want to go to New York as well. Do you know what, funnily enough, I almost booked tickets to go to New York at the beginning of April, but for one reason or another it didn't happen. Thank God. I've never been more pleased not to have booked a holiday in my life. Oh, I know Beetlejuice closed, but if it was still on Broadway, that's one I would have gone to see. So, yeah. Sad times. Sad times. But I'm pleased I haven't booked a holiday because that would have been even worse. Okay, keep these questions coming at me. Ooh, good one. Most inspiring person you've ever worked with? I've got a few. Mr. Andy Fickman. The man has a work ethic like you have never seen in your life. Jerry Mitchell. Again, work ethic, incredible. His energy, the precision of his eye for direction and choreography is unbelievable, guys. Amazing. Miss Carrie Hope Fletcher. The woman literally is Superwoman. She is one of those people that you say, Carrie, could you do that? And she'll go, well, I've never done that before, but yeah, sure. And I tell you what, she'll smash it. Her work ethic, to her writing, to her blogs, to the musical that she is in at that time, her voice, her care for her friends, the community, for everything, never, ever ceases to amaze me. The woman is incredible, absolutely incredible, and what an incredible friend as well. And Becky Locke, another amazing human being. She has the best advice. She makes me wee with laughter. That's right, guys. And she's just an incredibly powerful, intelligent, talented woman that I really, really look up to. So many others. I'll think of others and then go, oh, I should have said that person. But yeah, I've been very, very lucky to be inspired by and to have worked with such amazing people. So yeah, that's that. Sun's going. That's sad, isn't it? Okay, this needs to happen. If you were to go onto Gogglebox with any of the 6 West End queens, who would it be? All of them. Guys, could you imagine the Queens of 6 Gogglebox? Now, there is a series that needs to be commissioned. How amazing. Oh, God, it would be hilarious. All of us together. Oh, dreams. I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them that's what's happening. We need to do a pitch. What was my dream role as a child? Do you know what? I get asked about like dream roles and dream shows and stuff a lot. And genuinely, I don't have one. I suppose growing up, so Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat was one of the first musicals I ever saw. And Philip Schofield was playing Joseph. What an absolute hero. And I would love and have always loved and wanted to be the narrator in Joseph. So there's one as a child looking up, because I just that score is amazing and I love the songs, and I just have such great childhood memories. So that, but genuinely I don't have, that one role where people say, if I get to play such and such, I can die happy and never work again. I've never really had that role. Honestly, for me, to wake up every day and to be an actor working actively in this business, and to be able to be a part of incredible shows like Six, like Heathers, like Kinky Boots, like all of the ones that I've been lucky enough to be in, that for me is the dream. And to keep on doing that for the rest of my life and not to have to do anything else, that right there is it. That's what I want. So yeah, that's that. What else have we got? I've auditioned for Wicked a couple of times. Once when I just came out of college, and then once a few years back, but it didn't match up like availability wise. But an amazing show. And do you know what? I would want to play Glinda and Elphaba, because I'm greedy. I love Glinda. I obviously look a bit more like a Grinda, can't even say a name, Glinda than an Elphaba. But I just would love to also belt those big old notes out. I think that would be amazing. I saw so I'm obsessed with Alice Fern, as we all are. And I was watching the On Hope song cycle that I did. I've provided the vocals for the animation of Quarren Queen, which I loved. And Alice Fern was also part of the On Hope song cycle. And it's live streamed on the Other Palace YouTube channel. So go and watch it if you haven't. But I adore Alice Fern. Isn't she incredible? So I'm just looking through these other questions that I've had. Directors I'd like to work with in the future. I really want to work with Andy Fickman again, but on a movie or a TV show, like a sitcom, funny sitcom. So, yeah. But also Jamie Lloyd I love. So, yeah, Those two would be incredible. There will be many, many more, I'm sure, that I've forgotten. So that was that. Oh, on the shoes front as well, we are so lucky on Six. How cool is this? We get our very own pair of Leduca encrusted shoes, boots, okay? And they are super, super comfortable, but also beautiful. And they're just the best ever. So the Cinderella Swarovski crystal stilettos, but also my Six Leduca boots are amazing. Like, we're in those shoes for 75 minutes, dancing around, walking around, everything. No pain. No pain at all. And when I was in between shows one day at the Palladium, Beth from Leduca came over to my dressing room and fitted my feet for my very own pair of shoes, and did a sensational job because they fit like a glove. My pink hair in Six is not real. I mean, the hair is real, it's just not my hair, thank God. So I have to put my hair, it's hilarious, I look like I'm going to do an ISTD ballet class. So I put my hair in a funny little bun up here. And then we have this beautiful Ariana Grande hairpiece that's blonde and then slightly curled at the ends. And then it's got like this ombre that's like pink to purple. And then I pin that in. And then I pop my crown on the top. So yeah, but it's not a secret. Everybody knows. Don't you worry, Cody. Yeah, because obviously my hair it's not pink or purple. But I can't wait to get that back. I really miss my hair. Who else? Happy birthday, Enya. Happy birthday from Lucy. 2 days ago it was your birthday. Sending you all the love. Any questions? I've got a couple of minutes left. So let's just check through these. Oh, if you could move any show from Broadway to the West End, what would it be? Jagged Little Pill and Mean Girls. I've been waiting for Mean Girls, as you guys all have been as well, forever. When we were doing Heathers, everyone thought that everyone was told Mean Girls is coming, it's coming, it's coming, and it never came. So fingers crossed, post-COVID, we'll have some lovely new shows, but also some lovely new British shows as well, because we need to champion our British theatre, as well as the old amazing Broadway stuff too. Here we go, let's just check some others. Tips or nerves? Tips for nervous performers and singers. Okay, one thing I was told at college which really works is if you get shaky, so nerves will manifest in different ways. If you get shaky, shake it out. Just shake it out so much. Almost give the nerves what it wants. The nerves want to shake, so just shake them. Shake, 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 shake. Big breaths, really, really big, deep breaths in and out. And I know that sounds stupid, but it will just get your diaphragm relaxed, and just get your blood and the oxygen pumping around your body really, really efficiently. But the biggest thing for me that I've learned over the years, the biggest root of my nerves is preparation. If I go in there knowing I have got this song nailed, I've got these words nailed, because the thing is, auditions are nerve-wracking. They're not nice experiences in the sense you're going to feel lovely and cosy and warm and great. They are nerve-wracking in form, that they're that's just the way they are, and there's nothing that anybody can do to change that. So just let yourself have the shakes, and preparation is key. It will be the route to you feeling secure and confident with what you're doing, and then hopefully it will just minimise the nerves. It won't get rid of them, but it will minimise them. So yeah, I don't want to... Oh, so There's just one little moment there that was hilarious. So on 6, we had a big power cut at the end of my number. I'd literally done like 6.5 minutes of the song. We were nearly at the end. And the power cut out. So I sort of carried on singing a bit, but obviously we've got a handheld mic, so nobody could hear anything. So I had to just turn up stage and go. So we all exited the stage, and then we came back in afterwards and pretended that I had sung the very last bit of my song. And then my response to Jane Seymour was, "Were you not listening to my song? It had 3 choruses and a show stop," which was very funny because Nat didn't know that I was going to do that. And she was like, "Oh my God," and couldn't laugh. It was very funny. I am going to go because I am worried that this is going to time out and we're going to lose this live, and I want to save it to the story. So firstly, thank you so much for joining me on what was a very sunny Saturday afternoon, and now is a bit of a cloudy one. So get your cozies on, wrap up, watch some In for a Penny and Britain's Got Talent, both of which are hilarious. And I'm going to go and have some dinner and then get ready for my Heather's quiz. But I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you for joining me. I'm so sorry for the technical glitch at the beginning of this. Oh my goodness, I was really, really scared it wasn't going to work. But stay safe, stay indoors, and we're going to get through this stronger and better than ever before. Mwah. Take care. See you all soon. Back in the West End.